This is Math Expressions 3, Unit 7, Lesson 2. And of course, let's start off with our name and class number if you have it, and over here the date that you're working on this page. And when you're ready to go, we'll get going. Okay. We're going to continue using liquid measurement, but this time we're going to be using metric. We're going to be using milliliters or liters. And if you watched the video that I did, right, milliliters and liters, you know that a milliliter is about 20 drops of liquid, right? And a liter, just L, is like a water bottle, like a sports water bottle. That's about a liter. So that'll remind you, hopefully, how much a milliliter is and how much a liter is. So again, on this one, we're going to choose the appropriate unit. What's the best unit you would use to measure, right? And right here it says choose the unit that you would use to measure the liquid volume of each. And you're going to write ml, milliliters, or L, liters, right? So right here, number 1, a kitchen sink. Go for it. What do you think? Milliliters or liters? Yeah, hopefully you chose liters. How about number 2 over here? A soup spoon. A soup spoon. Yeah, you wouldn't want to use a water bottle to measure how much goes into a soup spoon, but you would definitely use milliliters. Number 3, a teacup. A teacup. Do you think a teacup would hold a liter? Probably not. I'm going to go with milliliters here. And then a washing machine. Yep, you got it. I'm sure you got that. Liters. You can use, you're not going to take 20 drops at a time to figure out how much liquid goes into a washing machine. All right, on this one, we're going to circle the better estimate. A juice container. A juice container. Go ahead and circle that. All right. Hopefully you did about a liter. A bowl of soup. 500 liters or 500 milliliters? Go ahead. See what you think. Yeah, I'm going to go 500 milliliters because I don't think 500 water bottles full of liquid would fit into that bowl of soup. So definitely not that. All right. And let's continue down here on this part. We're going to use drawings to represent problems. So these are the drawings that they're talking about. And they already have these marked off with different levels, right? So number 7, up here it says use the drawing to represent and solve the problem. So we're going to write an equation and then answer it, right? So number 7 says that there were 900 milliliters of water in a pitcher, and Terry poured 500 milliliters of water into a bowl. How many milliliters of water are left in the pitcher? So Terry started with all the way full, and I think what was this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, the 10. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 10. So she actually started at this line. There were 900. And then Terry took out, right? Terry poured out 500 of those. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right here. Right? So this was 900. And this is down to 500. And so this part, how much is left? How much is it up to that line? Yep. Sorry, I'm probably doing that in the wrong way. That was 900. But this amount right here is 500. So this line, what does that line represent? How much is left in there? So go ahead right here, write an equation, and then answer it. And remember, we're talking milliliters, and you could use that ml as your answer there. And then when you're ready, let's go on to number 8. All right, number 8 says, Mr. Rojo put 6 liters of fuel into a gas can that holds 10 liters. Let's count this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's 10 there. That line is 10. Okay, so Mr. Rojo put 6 liters. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 right there. That's 6. And then so into a can that can hold has a capacity for 10 liters. He put 6 liters in first and then 10, and he wants to fill it up. How many liters of fuel did he add to the can? Okay, so go ahead and right here, I kind of messed that one up, but you guys get it. Go ahead and write an equation, and then with your label, and again the answer is liters. Your label is liters, and then when you're ready, let's go to number 9. All right, number 9 says Shelby needs to water each of her 3 plants with 200 milliliters of water. So each of her 3 plants, so we've got 3 plants, each with 200. How many milliliters of water does she need? So again, we're using milliliters, ml. 3 plants, each one is going to get 200. How many milliliters of water does she need? So go ahead and again, write your equation here with your answer in milliliters. And then when you're ready to go, we'll go on. All right, and if you're ready to go on, let's go on to the next page. So again, even though there's not a line, let's put our name and number and the date over here that you're working on this page, because you might be working on this on a different day. So again, you guys, we are using ml for milliliters and L for liters, right, on this one. We're going to continue making sense of problems involving liquid volume, and again, we're going to use the drawings to represent and solve the problem. Now, I'm going to add a page. I've added a page over here that I'm going to divide into just different sections here, just to show my thinking. And let's say 10 through 14. So this one is going to be number 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and then if we need it, that one over there. Okay, so let's start off with number 10. This one says the deli sold 24 liters of juice in 3 days. The same amount was sold each day. How many liters of juice did the deli sell? Well, we can use this picture, but we could also come over here with 24 and 3, right? So they started off, here's our model, they started off with 24 liters, and then they divided that up. They used the same amount in 3 days, right? So that's our model. And in my classroom, I always call this the octopus model. It's officially called equal shares model. But hopefully you could see that this is a division problem, right? Because we're starting with an amount and we're dividing it into equal amounts. So we're going to use that information over here to write an equation and your answer. And when you're ready to go on, let's go on to number 11. Okay, so number 11 says, Tim has a bucket filled with 12 liters of water and a bucket filled with 20 liters of water. What is the total liquid of the buckets? So if you were to put them together, so this one's pretty straightforward. I don't even need to do a drawing on that one. So here's our 12 liters and here's our 20 liters. If we were to put them together, what would your total, and again, total volume. And again, we're using liters there. And it's also liters up there, if I didn't say that. All right, so when you're ready, I'm just going to number 12. Okay, number 12 says, Sarah made a smoothie and gave her friend 250 milliliters. There are 550 milliliters left. How many milliliters of smoothie did Sarah make? Okay, so I'm going to come over here on this one. So this is number 12. So this was our smoothie, right? That's the total. And right now we don't know what that is. That's a question mark. But we do know that she divided this up or broke this up into these 2 parts. And what were our numbers? 250 and 550. So 550 and 250. So we can use that, we can use that to figure out the total there, right? So again, over here, write an equation with your answer. How many milliliters, right? How many milliliters of smoothie did she start with is what you're trying to figure out. When you're ready to go on, let's go on to number 13. All right, number 13 says Diana has 36 cups of tea to divide equally among 4 tables. How many cups should she put on each table? So if we come back over here, what were numbers? Sorry, 36 and, 4? Sorry, I'm making you dizzy. So again, this is our model. She starts with 36, and it literally tells us she's dividing those up amongst 4 tables, right? This is division. So we need to figure out the same amount is going to go on each table. How many is going to go on each table? So again, right here, write an equation and your answer. How many cups? Because we're putting cups on tables. And when you're ready to go, let's look at number 14. Okay, number 14. Mr. Valle filled 7 jars with his famous barbecue sauce, and each jar holds 2 pints. How many pints of sauce did he have? So 7 jars, and each one is going to hold 2 pints. Just go back over here to our drawing. This is number 14. So 7 jars. Here's our model. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's our 7 jars. Each one holds 2. Did it say pints? Wow, it went back to cups and pints. Okay. This is actually just cups, but pints. That's weird that they would go back to pints. So there's our model anyway. And hopefully you know what kind of math you're going to do. Those are equal groups, right? So right here, write your equation. How many pints of sauce did he have when he finished making all of that? All right. Down here, if you want to do this, describe the relationship between a liter and a milliliter. Basically, how many milliliters equals 1 liter? Do you remember that? If you do, go ahead and write it down there. And that's the end of lesson 2.